Hello, I'm 5th District Council Member Bill Farmer, welcoming you to another very special edition of LexPlore. Today we're right out at the edge of the district, just inside New Circle Road at Richmond Road. We are in an area that has been traffic bound and is the beginning of a tunnel under New Circle Road to accomplish some of the goals of the EPA consent decree. We're actually in an old palisade overlooking what was the old Perkins Pancake House. There's a lot going on here. Stay with us. Welcome back. I've been joined by an old friend of the program and of the government, Vernon Azevedo. Vernon, thank
Bill,
you.
Good to see you again.
I think your official title, you said, is the Remedial Measures Program Manager.
That's correct.
Tells nobody anything. Great job, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're the one that gets the hard jobs done in relation to the EPA consent decree and what we have to do to get there in the time frame.
Well, we have $600 million worth of construction to do in this community over a short period of time, 12 years. Yeah. And my responsibility is for the design and the construction of those facilities in that time frame.
It's a lot of rubber meeting the road, man.
It is.
Well, you've been kind enough to come out today to talk about this project here just inside New Circle at Richmond Road, which this is one of those tanks that was kind of the hardest tank to place, I guess. I don't know, out of the group.
Very difficult. Our engineering analysis said that we needed a storage tank in this area.
Right.
And so we've looked all up in Idlehour Park, down Lake Park Drive, all around the New Circle Road area. Yeah. Finally found some property I think that's going to benefit water quality and urban county government, as well as we're going to be able to clean up a lot that's pretty well blighted at the present time.
I think people need to know inside that $600 million, it's, you know, this is stuff as simple as getting sump pumps off of drains, but it's as big as building 10 and 11 and 12 million gallon tanks to hold sewage in. This one will be a 5 million gallon tank. But
correct.
Really the reason we're here today is that to access the tank in the spot that we bought, we're boring a tunnel under New Circle Road. I think that's just fantastic.
It is, and it's very unique construction for Lexington.
Sure.
We're here on the old Perkins restaurant site. Right. Above that, right now up on New Circle Road.
We're in the scenic overlook above the old Perkins.
There we are. And so we're going to build a pump station right there. We'll divert the sewage at that point, and we're going to take it under New Circle Road and over to that 5 million gallon storage tank on the outside of New Circle Road, over off Quinton Court, to store that so that we can eliminate these sanitary sewer overflows here at Richmond Road and New Circle for the design storm. So we're going to eliminate most every overflow. Not 100%, but for the design storm.
Well, we're going to meet the plan that we've agreed to do with the EPA, but I think essentially this is to get all the sewage that's coming out of Wood Hill and Idlehour, and it solves probably the most manhole overflows in one spot all over town.
That's correct. That's correct.
So it'll make a big difference, but I just became so enamored with the idea of boring all the way under this whole intersection to get over to where the tank is. I wanted to come have a look. So,
well, we're going to tunnel, if I can use that as the verb, or bore. Okay. But we're going to tunnel a 5-foot diameter opening from over here on the Perkins site over to Quinton Court, 640 feet long.
No kidding.
5 feet in diameter. And inside that pipe, we're going to put 6 other pipes to connect these two facilities.
Well, let's go have a look.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're down in the pit hole. We've met Brian Brown. Brian, Midwest Mole.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you coming to Lexington to ply your trade.
We appreciate the work.
Well, it's amazing what you've done here, because we're how far down are we in this stone?
About 30, 35 feet.
And if we tunnel this way, we can come up in James Motors and get a car, but that's not what we're after.
That might be frowned upon.
You might be able to have a bigger hole. But this is the aperture that you're running through. What'd you say, 400 something feet?
640.
640 feet, and you're about 130 in now?
Yes.
So And there's nobody in there, right?
Correct.
Okay, fine. It just looks
Not
like
yet.
But I see, so there's kind of the boring machine at the front,
Yes.
and then behind that's kind of a, you had a name for it.
That conveyor, and then there's a haul unit.
A
and
haul
dirt
unit,
box.
yeah. And that's when you're
Comes
bringing
in and
stuff
out.
out. This,
That's
I
correct.
already joked to Vernon, this is like something out of The Great Escape or something. You know, this has all the trappings of a Hollywood movie set to me. But anyway, so how long have you been working to get this 130 feet done?
We've been going at it about a month and a half.
And do we have is there a time limit, or we're after a certain goal or whatever?
We're just now getting the machine fine-tuned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
We're getting into some different ground conditions than what we had anticipated. But,
Okay.
things are moving along.
And then, do you know where you're going to poke out on the other side? I mean, we talked about you got your laser sight here, so you know where you're shooting at.
Right. We had survey come out, so we've got our line set over there. So when we're ready to start digging that pit
Yeah.
for the exit, we know where to go.
So since it's all rock, it's all underground, you can do this all winter long if need be. I guess.
Yep.
And then you've got sump pumps running because there's constantly water draining in here, isn't there?
Correct. Yep. Some groundwater. Getting it out of here.
There's a lot of water out here, isn't there? A lot of water everywhere out here. So this is absolutely level in terms of from this side to the other side.
This is on a grade.
Okay.
Because this is going to carry a gravity sewer
Back
the
out.
other side,
So we're
back
pumping
over
uphill,
here.
so it'll flow back downhill.
Correct.
So what kind of incline? A few degrees?
Yes.
Just enough to make
It's
it roll.
not very steep, but a gravity sewer, they're not real steep. As we say, it all flows downhill.
Yes, sir. Well said. All right. Thank you for coming and doing this job
Thank you.
for us. We appreciate it. We're going to take up a position near the tank, and we'll be right back. Well, Vernon, now you brought me outside the district.
But something for which you still have interest.
Yes. And I think, as you pointed out, for the discerning viewer, this is called Quentin Court now, but it's actually the last kind of old paved part of what I would call Old Todd's Road.
It is. This is the Old Todd's Road and the Old Todd's Road right of way.
And for a while after they did New Circle, you could turn off onto Todd's,
That's correct.
but then they closed it up somewhere way back. I've forgotten when. And this just became the whole thing became kind of a quiet pocket. And as you were talking, it was one of the tracks of, this is now called 300 on the Circle. This is, I think Pennington Place is what you were saying. What it
Correct.
used to
The former name was Pennington and now 300 on the Circle.
be. So from where we were, we've come literally directly under New Circle, and we have bought this section of land to go with the section we have on the other side. And this is where we will actually place the tank.
That's right. So the tunnel that we were looking at that we're drilling from the other side
Yeah.
will pop up over on this side down in the ground, and that will carry the pipes that connect the two facilities, and we will build a 5 million gallon storage tank on this property.
And one of the things that you were the first one, kind of in my opinion, to discover or help us begin to save money is that round tanks cost less. Round tanks are easier to plumb and clean and everything else. So this will be a round tank. And there's a lot of construction debris in here that you're going to remove first.
That's correct. And the round tanks are much more cost efficient in construction, and we're going to clean this property up and then make it an attractive site when we walk away.
How many acres is this, or how much land is this?
This is just over 3 acres, I think 3.2 acres.
And there used to be a couple of apartment buildings that match those in style down here.
They're actually, the building foundations are still in place today, and we're going to have to excavate those building foundations.
So when will that work start?
That work, that contract is coming before the council this month.
We're going to have to get working on that, man.
So we'll probably start the work in January, February timeframe.
So how far down do you think this debris field goes?
The debris field, other than the building foundation, is all surface.
Okay.
But we'll be taking the tank to dig down to set. We're going to lower the tank. We're going to put the tank as low as we can. So we're going to be taking below the surface of the ground. We'll go another 15 feet into the ground in order that we don't have the tank sticking up way high as a visual obstruction.
How far across is it, diameter-wise? The tank itself?
This tank is about 140 feet in diameter.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be big. and it will stand just under 40 feet above the finished grade, but we're going to be underground 10 to 15 feet as well.
And then like the other ones of these, it has kind of a bold roof to it.
It's got a dome on top of it. When we built the tank at Town Branch, it was the largest dome tank in the country at that time.
Well, I guess you're saying that in past tense?
Well, others are now following, I think, what we call our lead and building these facilities, but they have built other tanks that were that big, but never with a dome cover.
Just watching how this type of construction works is so interesting.
Very interesting, and you made the point earlier, this is a much more safe than a rectangular structure.
We've had to learn. I guess you just gave voice to it. We're teaching a lot of others by going ahead and doing what we're doing here.
I think so, yes. We're getting calls from Louisville, Northern Kentucky, and saying, tell us what you're doing, because our costs are so much less than theirs.
Well, and that's what it became, a game of numbers. And you have value engineered us all the way through to keep, I mean, literally the council has been asked to raise taxes a couple, 3 times on this, and we haven't had to because you saved us into not having to.
Well, you've been asked to raise the sewer rates,
right? And
we're trying to hold the line on those sewer rates by being cost effective in our design and construction.
And it's working.
Hopefully it is, and yes, we are right now.
Anything else we need to know about this?
Looking forward to getting started. Thank you for your support.
Glad to support this. I work with Councilmember Scotchfield, who's just recently taken another job, but we want to make sure that when it was done, it was well placed, and we could put a little bit of maybe a public art on it and try to make it decorate in here, because we want people to drive by and not notice it as much as possible.
Correct.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
My pleasure.